Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back. And today we're about to talk about the impact of the Penguin. If you haven't seen that show, I don't know which universe you live in. I have no idea where you are because you just missed the biggest show of the year. I mean, this is one of the most transformative shows I've ever seen, and I'm not just being biased as a DC fan. This show. And it's funny because I remember talking about this show before it started. And I didn't necessarily know how this show was going to go. But when I tell you, if you're a huge fan of, epic shows like Sopranos, Boardwalk Empire, Game of Thrones, The Penguin is an ultimate hit. This is going to be one of the biggest hits of the season. This show grabs you. It captivates you from day one, from episode one until the last episode. I'm not going to give out spoilers if you haven't watched it. This is one of the most highly watched, highly rated. It was number one from episode one until the last episode. That was like a couple weeks ago. And when I tell you it's brought so much life back to not only DC, but to a belief that you can actually have good shows, right? One of the things people loved about The Sopranos, regardless of how violent it was the writing, right? The writing was outstanding. One of the most critically acclaimed shows ever. Same thing with Boardwalk Empire, and absolutely the same thing with Game of Thrones. The writing was outstanding. When I tell you the Penguin's writing was outstanding, when they kept saying that they were working, when Matt Reeves kept saying, and this comes from the Batman universe. Obviously, Matt Reeves did the Batman a few years ago with Robert Pattinson, outstanding movie, and you saw Colin Farrell play the Penguin, and then he created this show like a spin-off from this universe. And I know Colin Farrell is good as an actor. He's outstanding. He's going to win an Emmy. Not only will he win an Emmy for Best Actor, Best Performing Actor, you're going to have Matt Reeves as a writer, producer, and director, and alongside all the other writers and directors that came with all the other shows. They're going to win a ton of Emmys. It's going to be one of the highest rated shows. And not only that, by episode 3 they already secured season 2, and from all indications they never really planned for season 2. This was more like, we're going to spin off certain characters having their own type of shows, right? And so from what we've heard, they weren't really thinking of a season 2. Well, they are now, and that's all based off of everything this show. When I tell you from episode 1, you're going to follow Colin Farrell's character as the Penguin. You're going to see this man go through everything. You're going to fall in love with so many different characters. I don't want to name so many different characters. Sophia Falcone, you're going to fall in love with that character. The last episode, the season finale is, oh man, it is outstanding, but it will leave you heartbroken. That's all I'm going to say. But I love that this show, it brings out all the emotions that really good shows do. You go from anger to depression, to joy, to confusion and frustration. There's so many things you go through watching this show. And I think that's one of and I love the fact that they went from week to week as opposed to just basically giving us all the episodes. I think that really wouldn't have allowed us to really grow with this show. The fact that they basically went week by week, kind of like Game of Thrones, kind of like most really good shows do. This is, HBO Max and DC, they hit a home run. And whatever directors and whatever writers they have, they better keep those writers. Moving forward, from everything we've heard, they might spin off other characters like the Joker's version in the Batman. We might have other characters that spin off. Sophia Falcone might have her own spin-off. We don't know. We're just hearing they're just out there. But the impact of this show, and that's exactly what I wanted to basically talk about. This show basically highlights not only there's this vacuum that we've had in good shows when it comes to comics, right? And good R-rated shows, right? And what this show basically tells us and basically shows us is with good writing, good directing, good acting, we can actually have outstanding shows. And when I tell you, you have to watch it. If you haven't watched this show, if you ever watched The Penguin, it's on HBO Max. And I hear that it's going to be on 4K Blu-ray. For those people who still watch DVDs, it's going to be out there in a few months. But it's on HBO Max. And I highly recommend it. I highly recommend that you watch that show. When I tell you, and obviously for you guys, you're going to get all 8 episodes, I think 8 or 9 episodes. You're going to see them all. And I tell you, some of you might binge watch it. It's a holiday season. You might binge watch it. But it's that good of a show. If you haven't watched it, go watch The Penguin. But the impact of this show will be felt moving forward, not only with DC and the kind of shows that they're trying to do, but in the comic sphere, right? Even Marvel. Marvel will have to really take a page out of what they're doing at DC and what Matt Reeves is doing. The amount of not only time it took them a while to actually get, because I think the Batman came out in 2017. So it took them a while, right? To actually, was it really 2017? Oh my God, I don't know if it was 2017, but it was like 4 or 5 years ago, I think. So it took them a while to really develop this show to what they actually wanted to do, but they gave us a masterpiece. And when I tell you, you need to watch it. It's one of the most highly rated. I think Rotten Tomatoes had them at 80. Every episode it has 80 or 90, right? That's just outstanding. Take it from me. Not only biased, but as a huge fan of good writing, this is an outstanding show, and I would highly recommend it. Anyway, that's been The Penguin. Go watch it. Go absolutely watch it. And then let me know in the comments, what you thought about it. And can't wait to see where they go from this. Anyway, it's been the African Comic Guy, and I can't wait to see you on the next episode. Peace.